Welcome, my name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to my craft room. We are on day 2 of our stamp set of the week, the Woolly Friends. It is all about the lambs and some spring flowers. It is a 2-step stamp set with a punch. Basically means it stamps on the outline and you've got an infill as well, should you wish to, rather than colour. So we will turn the camera around in a second, but before we do, I just wanted to remind you that at the end of this video there is a QR code. So if you would like to order any of the supplies and you don't have a demonstrator, then I would love to be your demonstrator. But please, even if you do have a demonstrator, have a look at the supplies and then you can go to your demonstrator and order from her or him. Right, let's turn the camera around. I have my tea at the ready, so let's do that. Okay, so this is the beautiful card that we are going to create. I'm sure that I'm just going to wobble that. There we go, that's better. Right, so this is the card we are going to create. It is a pile of lambs. It's got a happy birthday on the side, and you can put a sentiment inside should you wish. This is the stamp set and we will be using the punch. So let's bring in the actual supplies and we can begin creating. So the first thing I need to bring in are, pieces of paper left, right and centre. Okay, I have got a piece of Petunia Pop, which measures 8 inches by 5 3/4. I have a white piece that measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. And I have a piece of Designer Series paper. Now this has got the turtles on the back, but this is turtly awesome. I will link it in my supply list. It measures 1 1/2 by 5 1/4 to go on the side. And I've got lots of inks today. I have got Petunia Pop, Timid Tiger, Summer Splash, Strawberry Slush, and Darling Duckling. Now these are all in colours. It just so happens that they were the colours I needed to use today, no specific reason. And I've also got 3 pens. No, I won't need the pens, will I now? Because I decided, no, let's ignore the pens. You never saw the pens. And I'm using an old stamp set, Sweetly Scripted, to use the happy birthday. You could use any sentiment that you particularly wanted. Right, so the first thing we need to do is the stamping. So I needed early espresso and I did not pick it up, so let's grab that now. Okay, I've got that. I need five little woolly heads. So I'm just going to stamp those, one on top of each other, but with enough space. 1, 2 to cut them, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's my 5. That's the early espresso. Now I need to bring in my white piece of paper to balance my sheep on. So we got one body, and I've got some of the masks left from from Monday's class video. Right, so we're going to stamp this up. Bottom right left hand corner. I'm going to cover it up with our cover. And then the next one is going to stand on the side. Now I'm not going to put them all straight. I'm going to do some of them wibbly wobbly, just to give it a bit of interest. So that can come off now and go up. And then we can put that one there. 3. I only want to do 5. So let's do that one. 4. Well, and then the last one is going to go there. So all the stamping is going to be on the left hand side of the piece of cardstock. Right, let's bring in our colour. Now, as I said to you, what I did was, once I worked out where position this goes, I've put a ink mark on there, just an arrow to point up to make life easier, especially when you're trying to stamp things over. Right, so let's start with our, oh dear, darling duckling's a bit stiff. Right, so as you can see, I have done all the stamping there. Right, so let's ink up our darling duckling. I want to just check and see how strong that's going to be, because it's a brand new colour that I haven't used very often. Oh, it's a bit dark, isn't it? Let's do a muddy sheep. Okay, so let's pop that down there. Hold it for a couple of seconds. There we are. Now, again, I'm going to put my cover on, because obviously I do not want to, what don't I want to do? I don't want to put colour on the one that I've already stamped. So I'm going to clear my thing. There goes the yellow. Now we've got pink or strawberry slush. These are all quite new, so let's see what we think. Oh no, definitely going for the full strength on that one. That's a lovely colour. Hold it for a couple of seconds. Let's see if I can get that a bit more. That'll do. Yeah, I can get away with that. Right, let's cover that one up. There we go. Wash that down. Stamp off. Then we're going to do summer splash. Again, this might be a bit. Let's do the full strength. Get my scarf out of the way. Right, let's have a look. What are we doing? Hold that down for a couple of seconds. Okay. I'm just moving it down just a touch more, so that a bit more of the sheep gets covered. Now we've got orange. Oh, this is the timid tiger. Let's give that a quick clean wipe over. There we go. Whoa, that was close. There we go. Timid tiger. Let's do it stamped off this time. There we go. There we go. Oh, sorry about that. Knock you all senseless. That's better. And I'm going to move that down just a bit. That was a perfect positioning, that was. Right, let's do it that way. And then give that a clean, and we can use our last one, which will be the petunia pop. Got my rainbow sheep. Let's try the second one. Right. There we go. Right, so there are our sheep, all layered up nicely. They just look like balls of cotton wool at the moment until we put their heads on. Okay, so let's stick down the designer series paper, which will go just here. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. I think what I've forgotten to do, oh, that's better. Oh, it's just got caught. Come on. Okay, that's not working. Let's use the glue. And we can position that. There we are, we've got our coloured sheep. I haven't got myself a sentiment, so I've just got some strips in front of me, so let's grab one of these. I know it needs to be 1 inch, so let's cut that down to 1 inch and 4.5. So there's 1 inch and 4.5. I'm going to bring in my happy birthday. Put that over there. I'm going to bring my ink to my sentiment. That way it will be, it's because it's such a large image, or a long image rather than a large image. Right, let's make sure that's straight. I'm just going to pop that down. Okay, so that now can go onto there. We'll glue that down. And all we need to do next is to put the heads on. I know there's glue in it because it's full. It's just playing me about. Come on. There we go. Thank you very much. Right, let's make sure this is straight. There we go. Right, let's get those heads on. So we need to punch them out. So I'm going to bring in my punch and my little heat sheep heads. And I've just noticed that if I cut this one, I'm going to cause issues. Way! There's one. Right, let's see if we can get another one in. Number 2. That was close, wasn't it, to number 3? Look at that. Maybe what I'll do, make life easier on myself. Right, push you in. Three. Ah. Just didn't want to cut his ear. Grab my 22. Four. And then the last one's going to be a lot easier because I've got five. Right, let's get those stuck down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise 3, stick down 2. So So here's a raised one. Let's get some dimensionals. Right, so the first one is a raised. That's going to go there. And we can stick him up there, I'd say. This one's going to be stuck down. Excuse me. Still seem to have that cough that I couldn't shake on Monday. There we go. Right, let's put the next dimensional on. And then we're going to do a flat one. Oh, excuse me. Just going to wriggle that one over a bit. And then my last one is a dimensional again. And that will go slap bang in the middle. There we go. And then the next thing we need to do is to clear this lot out of the way. Push that aside. And we can bring in our petunia pop. Fold it over. For those of you that wish to score, you can score at the 4-inch mark. You're going to burnish with your bone folder. And then we can now put that onto there. So let's bring our multi-purpose back in. There we go. Now we can see our little sheep all in place. And then this is the other one that I did earlier. Right, so here are our cards for Wednesday. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Don't forget we're back on Friday for a funky fold, and I know you're going to love it. Take care. Bye.